Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. This is Eccentric RockStar'Seed. Okay? I have a very blunt message. Okay? Big 14, bitch, yeah. 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 14, angel number 14. Okay, is what that's about. All right, but I'm called to say this first. This is a warning. Those who content themselves only with the petty delights of the worldly life to do what? Sorry, y'all. Oh, and do not look beyond it. My own handwriting sucks. I'm reading my notes. Though it's a warning, nonetheless. Those who content themselves only with petty delights of the world, of the worldly life, and do not look beyond it, and neglects God's messages will abode. Their abode will be the fire. Okay, this isn't, I do not have rights to that song, but the lyrics in that song, I was led to that song to deliver a message. And I'm not talking about the artist themselves, I'm talking about what the lyrics entail. I'm also called to read the first two verses of each entertainer's verse. And the chorus is also significant. It's gonna make sense later. Okay. Woe to them for those whose efforts revolve around gathering material possessions and counting them, thinking that his wealth will help him live forever. This is a fool who decided to practice a gang rival against the humiliated. The humiliated are obviously the humble God serving people. And this is somebody who went out their way, who broke their own spirit to try to break yours. You know, you cut your nose off to spite your face. This is somebody who broke their own spirit to spite you, to make your life, to bully you, to steal your abundance and your blessings, which is obviously yours. There's there's no two ways about it. He created a false army under false pretenses and set out false allegations against you just to practice hate against you. Okay? 14, angel number 14 is a message that if you act with caution and if you act with wisdom, you will be successful in business, money matters, and life in general. God says keep your focus, positive claims, and intentions on your goals and desires. This is what God is telling you to do. Don't worry about, yes, it's a natural reaction that somebody keep trying to push you into a corner. You have to fight back. That's true. But what God is telling you to do is focus on your positive claims and your intentions on your goals and your desires. He's working with you. They are working with you to make your dreams come true. Okay, so I'm led to tell you look in Surah number 3 in the Quran, ayat number 28, or read. Okay? The Quran has associated tranquility and a peace of mind with the fulfillment of physical needs. One can't obtain mental satisfaction unless basic physical needs are fully met. And God says being mindful of his laws and commandments ensures the tranquility of the hearts. So whoever turns away from his laws and commands, his means of subsistence will be restricted. This is a connection between the means of subsistence and the tranquility of the heart. So although fulfillment of our basic physical needs is important for having a real peace, to have that real peaceful and tranquil state of mind, this is a warning shot. Somebody sold themselves short because they sold their soul for material gain, and they thought sacrificing you held more value and held greater law enforcement than God's law and enforcement. So God is saying, go produce your surahs if you're truthful. So everything you try to hide, throwing rocks and throwing stones and hiding your hand, I'm digging up everything you try to hide. And I'm exposing you. Okay? Because this has gone on long enough. So likewise, for the humiliated, he's calling you to you have to build a solid foundation for your success. Like, this is somebody who was restricted or stripped or deprived of things, and God meant for you to go through that because it proves his will versus mankind's will, as you say. When they start operating from their ego and disassociate themselves with the spiritual laws, which would be God's word. And you sat there with little or nothing to work with, or you kept being met with a lot of restrictions, but you kept persevering. So it's going to build a more solid foundation for you. This new moon is in Virgo. A lot of things are going to change in the month of September. So whichever side you resonate with the most, it's going to change drastically for you. So for those who are amongst the party of the humiliated, things are going to change for you. You build your solid foundation with caution and wisdom, you're going to be successful in all your endeavors, your creative endeavors, your business, money matters, and life in general. But he's telling you that I had you go through that to prove my will. I let them think they were getting away with that to prove my will, likewise. So he's digging up somebody's dirty secrets. I see the death card. Okay? Death of transformation means whether it's actual death or not, because the chorus, what is the chorus of that song? Don't come outside, we send them killers at your door. So what he's saying is, don't go outside of what I say, okay? Because the angels of death are going to come no matter what. So that's just like if you have a loan to go to school. Guess what? If you pass or fail, you still got to pay that loan. So whether you're right, wrong, or indifferent, them angels are still coming. Depending on what side you're on, depending on if it's going to be merciful or not. And I'm told to fixate on the melody of the song is very tranquil. So there's somebody who's listening to that song with a tight chest. They're so dead set on this art of war that they're not listening to their heart palpitations. They're having like little mini heart attacks. Their left side is tight. Their chest is tight. They think it's just gas or something. Those are mini heart attacks. Okay? Hence, warning. You're not paying attention to the warning. You're not taking heed to what God is saying. He's restricting you on purpose because you went against him or went against people who stand for him. So obviously, if you went against him, those who harm us are not from us. Okay? Now, 3/24/2022 is significant. 14 breaks down to a 5. That could be somebody's personal year as well, or a life path year, but I think it's somebody's personal year. Your life path year is like you're a master number 11, or your life path year is your birthday and the year you were born. You add that up. Your personal year is the same concept as the years 1 through 9. It would be your birthday and the current year. That determines where you're at in your personal progress. And that's people who practice numerology or can break things down in a numeric term. That's how you understand this part of the message. So I'm told the first 2 ayahs of each entertainer's verse. Remind you, I don't have rights to their song, but their lyrics are significant. Okay, this is speaking to the humiliated. All right, so you're starting with the second artist's verse. Big speaker. That's mass communications. Big speaker, richer than all my teachers. Oh, big speaker, richer than all my teachers. That's the same young person used to skip school. So, and then you have Offset, who was technically the first artist who went stacking and flipping that money. I'm not selling my soul. And then the last part is Trippy's part. Killing a person, driving a person, spilling a person. Caps can get peeled. Little person. They saying the N word, but I'm saying person. Little person. I was in the field. Little person. So although you're called to, obviously, if somebody's bucking at you, you have every right to defend yourself. But this is speaking to the false allegations. Just somebody is looking at your spiritual practice for the humiliated, and they made false allegations against you, and they're using that as a cop out, as if for the last, I'm hearing 8 to 10 years, they were not sending attacks against you. They were not practicing that art of rival. This is your own family in certain instances. You haven't even separated from your own family yet, and they were raging war against you. This is how far back it goes. But since you're at a space of evolvement, healing, and growth, that now they're using your spiritual practice and your newfound spiritual strength against you, as a weapon against you, making that as an excuse to buck up against you. Hence, God is saying, Big 14, yeah, Big 14, yeah. He's saying bitch, but you get what I'm saying. You get the point. Big 14, angel number 14, solid foundation. Your accusations are built on faulty foundations because you lied. Meanwhile, this person stayed neutral, stayed loyal, stayed quiet through the majority of it, even though they stood their ground through their beliefs in their spiritual practice. That would be the war part on, the standing up and fighting back part on the for the humiliated. If this is, I'm hoping that the way I'm explaining it is making sense, because I'm told to break down the verses. Don't come outside, we send them killers at your door. You stepped outside of the realm of what God said and tried to pass yourself off to be something of an authority figure or something more powerful. And he said, we send them killers at your door. Now, ironically, you can't come outside. You can't practice you can't keep up what you initially done, because your resources are restricted because you went outside of what God said. So now you can't finish what you started, and now the humiliated has way more precedence. But the foolery and the trickery of it is, they always had more power because they were the ones who stayed in the realm of what God says. You were just made to be a fool, like public humiliation. The public humiliation you set out for the humiliated is what you are currently experiencing and will continue to experience until the angels come to your door. We send them killers at your door. That the spiritual message in that is, we send them angels of death at your door. And you on the wrong side of the fence, is what he's saying. Now, for the humiliated, your crown chakra is clear. You have clarity and understanding. Your third eye is clear. You have sharper intuition. Your throat chakra is clear. Hence, big speaker, mass communications. I'm richer than all my teachers. So teachers is a broad interpretation. That's not just the teachers in school or the leaders of the community. It's also a spouse, parental figures, grandparents. You're richer than everybody who taught you things. And I'm called to say, everything that they taught you was not always good. They obviously, the way Moneybag Yo said that part, I'm richer than all my teachers, even though I used to skip school. Sometimes you have teachers who put you down. And I'm thinking of the song, I forget the name of the song, but Jay-Z said, the teacher said, I'm going to be a reefer head. I'm pretty sure you ain't supposed to speak to kids like that. I'm pretty sure that's not your place as a teacher to tell somebody they're not going to amount to anything. So a lot of young, whether African or Indian people, or regardless of who they are, it doesn't matter, your culture. But a lot of people were told coming up, you're not going to amount to anything because you come from a low income space, or you're Your life is not made to be that easy at the moment, at that moment, in that pivotal space. And if you listen to a lot of entertainers, they do talk about starting off with humble beginnings. And then you have Offset's verse that talks about, I am making, although I'm making a lot of money, I'm not selling my soul. I didn't sell out. So it's talking about the benefits of staying in the realm of what God says versus selling your soul for riches. And Trippy's part talking about combating with a person, he's not. This is a person who has that warrior spirit. Warrior spirit. All of them do, because they all talk about it in their verse. But in this particular instance, this is a soldier of the Most High. When the other people were the soldiers for the devil, they were just they were fooled into thinking that they had way more power and precedence and dominance over you, and they were like practicing a lot of hatred and racial bigotry and blasphemy, just things that are just totally inhumane, period. The chief deceiver, he fooled you, okay? Because it's the humiliated who never broke. If you notice, they stood 10 toes down. Their spirit is not broken, their mind is not broken. Oh, I didn't finish saying what I had to say. With the throat chakra, it's clear. You tell the truth. So your throat chakra was never muted or cracked or nothing, even though they tried everything. They tried to block you, well, spiritually attack you, as well as physically attack you. Heart chakra, open, clear. Solar plexus, clear. Okay, sacral chakras, clear. Root chakra, clear. All clear. Likewise, you're doing all clear. They do the heart palpitations for the other person who thought they were preying on like little sheep or little lamb, or tried to play you like you was a sheep or a lamb. Heart palpitations, they say that all clear, and they zap your chest to try to resuscitate you or bring you back to life. Clear, flatline, spiritually or physically, and or both. Now, sorry about that. Surrender to the sweetness. I have my cards flipped over. I shuffled these cards before I started, and I flipped them over, so I don't even know what they were. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. You see here, you and this person are like a world away. Okay. Somebody's on the bitter side of life, somebody's on the sweetness side of life. It's kind of as a part of how I take that. The other part of it is being receptive and surrendering. Okay? If you do the work, you're able to receive all like endless support. Okay? This is from my entrepreneurial deck. Invest, growing wealth. Invest in yourself to learn the skills you need to create a thriving business that grows wealth for you. That starts with spiritual practice. That starts with learning the lingo and the language of the Most High. Then you can resonate with any holy book with this. Learning the lingo of what he says. You can pass the time by all you want to, as long as you stay in command. You stay within the messages, the truth of the messages of what I'm telling you, of what I'm teaching you. Okay, and with that being said, hence the humiliated never flipped. So now he's telling you, big 14, angel number 14, build a solid foundation. You're going to need that solid foundation that's going to grow that business and grow that wealth for you. You didn't have it like that before. You were met with too many restrictions because you were being attacked. So to stop those attacks, to get stronger, you had to get stronger spiritually first. You had to come back into alignment with who you are and what you stand for, instead of, as humans, we all make mistakes. You get a little caught up in somebody who's trying to bully you. Naturally, your first reaction is hit them back. And I respect that. It's not about sitting back like a punk. That's not what God said. He said, you don't fear man before you fear me anyway. So it may have initially started like that, but then you surrender. It's like you go, God, this isn't happening for no reason. That's where the caution and the wisdom comes in. Hence, angel number 14. Now you're starting to practice the art of war diligently. It's not all physical. It's spiritual. emotional, like that. Hence, I clear all your chakras are clear. People can attack you in many sorts of ways. It's more than one way to skin a cat. Samadhi. Look at that. Is he sitting there with all his chakras? Like he's in deep meditation. He's in stillness, surrender to the sweetness, sitting in stillness to receive. So you're able to listen to the Most High as you calm down. Cool your emotions. Keep a level head so you can learn what you're meant to do next. Because all you're trying to do is build a life for yourself and your family. You wasn't trying to go practice the art of war with somebody who has nothing, clearly nothing better to do with their life. No ambition, no drive. Let's keep it real. Who has that kind of time to go attacking somebody? This person put so much thought and effort and passion into working against you that they become so consumed and so obsessed with what they were doing against you, with trying to win against you, to be that kind of petty against you, or just petty in life for material gain of any kind. That could be humanity too. Trying to get people to take their side against you, as well as money or wealth or anything like that. Somebody tried to take everything from you. How stupid can you be? And it's not for me to judge you. It's just, really, have you no common sense? Yeah. You did all of that against somebody who you weaponized their relationship with their higher power, as it resonates with everyone, against them. Are you serious? And you kept doing it to the point where you're so consumed with it, you have stepped away from what you claim you're all about. You can never say you're a servant of the Most High. Not behaving like that, you're not. And it's public knowledge. Everybody saw you do it. So you did it on purpose. You knew exactly what you were doing. You put so much humanity or lack of thereof into it just to shut somebody down. Okay, what happens next when you shut this person down? Now what? You're not going to be satisfied. That's not enough. I can't just shut this person down. Now I'm seeing the hadith about the wife of Abu Lahab, and when she was in combat with Muhammad's uncle Hamza, how they killed him. It wasn't enough that they plotted on him to kill him. They used his anger against him, because when he's angry in the moment of rage, once he loses temper and he's in the heat of that emotion, he lacks judgment. He don't recognize what's going on around him, and they weaponize that against him. And that's how they managed to kill him. And then it wasn't enough that she had the Ethiopian slave kill him with a spear, shot it right through his heart. He died in the midst of war. She had him castrate, cut his ears off, cut his heart out his chest. She did all this stuff to him. It wasn't enough to try to get on top of him. All this because she hated the messenger Muhammad. She hated him and what he stood for and what he was there to do so bad. And every messenger has their fair share of calamities. We've read them. For those who don't understand it, read the holy books and things. It teaches you a lot about what they had to endure, what they had to encounter just to deliver that message. He said, yeah, you're favored and you're blessed. Muhammad, all your past and future sins are forgiven, but it's not going to come without calamities. Like, he would walk down the street, they would throw stones at his feet till his skin bled. They did all kinds of crazy things to all the messengers because they were telling the truth. You saw what happened with Musa when Pharaoh bucked up against him. His whole army drowned in the ocean. Like, I'm trying to use different messengers' experiences because people resonate with the different experiences. It depends on what your sect of religion is. It's all truth at the end of the day. Meaning every messenger, no matter who it was or who it is, all of them had the same message. Single God out in his lordship and his worship and his names and attributes. So no matter how you come up in this world, so for example, you get into that envy, you get that nastiness in your chest, your heart becomes a rock. It's closed off. You don't hear nothing. All your chakras blocked. You don't have no common sense. You're deaf, dumb, and blind, as is written in the holy books. You're trying to steal to get ahead. Okay? Versus somebody who stayed loyal, and it looked like they just sitting there tolerating a bunch of bullcrap when they're really not. They're really not. Okay? Because if God tells you to do his work, it's not going to come without trials and calamities to some degree. Like, who are we? Like, you saw what you read what the messengers went through. Everybody saw the movie The Ten Commandments. Well, most people did. You see what happens. You know the difference. When somebody is led by greed and their ego and their arrogance versus somebody who's a believer. All the stuff they put the believers through. And they end up being fruitful when it's all said and done. And the arrogant ends up being humiliated when it's all said and done. Don't come outside. We send them killers at your door. Okay? This is what God is saying. I don't have rights to that song, but this is what God is saying. This is what he's led me. He led me to this song, and I'm listening to this song. I'm like, okay, I really like how tranquil it is. So for the believers, that they understand. You know, when you listen to each artist, which are very amazing artists, all of them, by the way, and you listen to what they're saying. Offset said, I'm stacking my paper and I'm not selling my soul. He didn't sell out, and he's very successful. Moneybag, you know, I'm Richard. I'm a big speaker. He's a mass communicator. He's on a public platform. So for somebody who's practicing their spiritual gifts on a public platform, there's somebody who's a public speaker about it, you know, who has that protection and is killing this person who went out their way to bury you. You know, you're on this public platform and you're doing everything that they hate you for, and you're getting recognition for it, and you're successful for it. You're stacking your money. You're not selling your soul. You're receiving that abundance. You're in the energy. You're surrendering to the sweetness. You're making joy. You're making love to life. You're experiencing pleasure and joy. I mean, why would you want to do anything in life that doesn't cater to you experiencing pleasure and joy, that Venus energy? And then you could be a man or a woman. It's about balancing the masculine and feminine energy anyway. Likewise, you wouldn't have never known what pleasure and joy is or was if it wasn't for you experiencing somebody, that dingbat or that disbeliever, who's waging war and rivals against the humiliated. So you earned it. You know you are going to be more than grateful, you know, for all your abundance that's coming towards you, that you're probably currently experiencing right now as we speak. Hence, these people ran out of funds. It's like, as fast as they took off with feeling like they got a farce victory on you, it fizzed out faster. Now go produce your Surahs if you're truthful. That's what the Most High is saying. I'm digging up all the things you're hiding. You're a liar and you're a disbeliever. Don't say you with me, because you're not. Not attacking anybody who stands for anything. All you're doing is segregating the people for capital gain, for petty gain. And your victories were petty. Very petty. So to use the word petty, that's small. And I was called to use my deck. No jokes, y'all, but I was called to use my African tarot deck, and it's very small. Because they're minuscule. Your attacks is minuscule, but you perceived not. What? God, whoever God is talking to, and he had me use this song to break it down, because for the point of it is mysteriously yet creatively, he's putting it in a way for everybody to understand it. Sometimes people are listening to songs and don't really think about it. They just into it on a surface level, and that's fine, because it's a great song regardless. But then there are deeper messages that come out of what the people are talking about. You really think about what they're talking about. I'm earning my living, I'm receiving my inheritance, and I didn't sell my soul for it. And I'm still rich as fuck. Excuse me for saying the F word, but I'm still highly successful. I have a public platform. I'm worldly renowned. I'm worth a fortune, bluntly put. That's you. Whoever's practicing their spiritual abilities on a public platform, that's you. That was the point. Okay, so this little petty person, what was he trying to convince the people? Not that it matters, but I was called to pull that deck out. So let's see. While he's out there thinking their voice, and it's a him. I didn't say those on purpose. I was told to say him. So whoever him is, or her. Temperance. The Tower. And I like to show the illustrations. Temperance. The Tower. The King of Pentacles. Greedy. Greedy, greedy, greedy. How was you perpetrating? How was you attacking an earth angel? First of all, you're the one that's spiritually imbalanced. Temperance is about healing. You called on a dark angel, a dark lord. There's only one God, but you called on somebody who's a false God, who's dark. Okay? And you got a rude awakening. You got your rude awakening now at this point. King of Pentacles. How you rich off somebody else's stuff? Look at all the abundance in there. You got kids in there, a house, stars, money, pentacles. You look good. Dig that. Look at that. Look at this King of Pentacles. A King of Pentacles is somebody who's very stable, very wealthy, very well off. After all, it's a king. And that's why he called me to say Pharaoh, the arrogant one. You can't steal somebody's stuff. It's like being a passenger seat driver. How are you flexing in the passenger seat of somebody's ride? Like, that's somebody else's stuff. How are you fronting like it was yours? You didn't earn that. Meanwhile, the Temperance, the humiliated is healing and growing and receiving those spiritual upgrades. The Tower is a spiritual transformation. That faulty foundation, that also represents that faulty foundation that the person built. Okay? The King of Pentacles is you. Stacking my money, not selling my soul. Okay? I'm proud of you. Whoever stayed 10 toes down. I stayed loyal to you, Frank. Like on Scarface, with the one with Al Pacino. Okay? Where Frank went against him because he was getting bigger than Frank, and Frank got mad and bucked up against him and tried to act like he didn't do it. And Tony Montana, he got him shot, attempted to kill him. And Tony went right to him. He went right to him. He said, you know, you're a piece of shit, Frank. He said, no, I never killed anybody. He got on his knees and started begging Tony because he knew Tony wasn't to be played with. You didn't expect Tony to make it out of that. The fact that Tony came back, his arm was in a sling. But he had that pistol in his other hand. Or whatever gun he had. Excuse me for saying that. I don't want to get flagged. But he came in there and said, Frank, I stayed loyal to you. I stayed loyal. I had a few deals on the side, no big deal, but I stayed loyal. My primary source of survival was with you. And he told him. He said, you're a piece of shit. You know what a hasna is, Frank? He reminded Frank of something he told him. A pig that don't fly straight. He turned out to be the pig that don't fly straight. And he disgraced himself. He was totally humiliated. Needless to say, we know what happened to Frank next. What else? The sun. I told you, everything that person tried to hide and do in the dark, God is pulling it to the surface. That's right on top of the Temperance. What else? The King of Cups. Tower. Spiritual awakening. Somebody was a master manipulator. Meanwhile, the other person is full of joy. They experiencing the pleasures and joys of life. That's somebody who's emotionally intelligent through it all. Temper, hence the Temperance. You didn't lose your temper about it while that person was running game. Meanwhile, the sun is in there, is in the King of Cups too. If you hold up, sorry, you see the sun up there, and the sun is in here. The sun card. You see the kid in there and the horse. You get to keep your abundance. That's what God is saying. Ace of Swords. I cannot make this up. Look, that's every reader's favorite line. I cannot make this up. Ace of Swords is clarity. A lot of people were under false pretenses about the person waging war against you. And it's like now they're starting to get that clarity, and that common sense is starting to kick in. Like, discernment, intuition, and common sense plus common sense equals discernment. So now they're starting to realize now, it's like, well, it never made sense why you chose to do all of this stuff anyway. Like, why are we helping you do this stuff again? Oh, they going down with you. Whoever helped you, by the way. Okay? But then the people who were maybe just like innocent bystanders who was just watching from afar. Oh, shoot, I dropped something in my car. Hold up. Anybody who was watching from afar, watching all this happen, like, wow, that's crazy. You know, what did this person, it made the person at first, the humiliated one, they made that person look suspect at first. But this person had connects. You got two kings on the board. This person had connects, whether it be in the corporate America world or some way or another. They had some extra connects that was beyond what the eyes can see. And it's not just spiritual, it's tangible too, because there's the King of Pentacles here and the King of Cups here. So that's spiritual as well as tangible. Okay? Master manipulator. A King of Cups in reverse is a master manipulator, a player. A King of Pentacles in reverse is a greedy person. Somebody who's all about petty material gain. There's nothing's ever enough. It's give me. I need more. That's like, it's like a bottomless pit in their stomach. Like, you keep eating everything and it's like having a tapeworm. And you're still hungry when it's all said and done. What's the matter? Just a minute. Okay, y'all. I noticed on the bottom of the deck, you got the Queen of Wands. That's another spiritual card. That's a warrior. On one hand, on the other hand, somebody tried to make like they did Mary. I'm hearing Mary now. Jesus' mother, alayhi salam. Oh yeah, I say supplications when I mention the prophet. So when I say Muhammad, so peace and blessings be upon him. When I say alayhi salam, peace be upon him. Okay, blessings be upon him. Okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse is a whore. You know, somebody who's very promiscuous. You know, it's somebody who assassinated your character or defamed your character and made you out to be somebody who's loose, who's a witch. Because if you got supernatural abilities or spiritual talent, they definitely called you all kinds of witches. They accuse you of everything they're about in the dark. Right? What else? Because the sun is here. So everything is being blown out the water. Everything is being exposed. That is the purpose of this reading. I should name it warning. I was told to name it warning. Okay? This is the authentic brand over here. We tell the truth over here. Okay? It's like, and it's more than enough evidence against this person now. It's like, well, you can't backpedal on anything that you say because everything was made public. Okay? You can't say, well, she's this and that. No, that's not what you said. Like, you took it far. Like, you built a false army. So corporate America, when I say corporate America, you could have went through the legal system, you know, any kind of judicial system. You know, it wasn't no affirmative action whatsoever for that person. That person was made to be the loser. Okay? So you can't, now when you cross-reference what this person did to attack you, it's like, it's public knowledge, public records, that kind of thing. So yeah, you can sue this person for harassment, defame of character, and things like that. However, that's the least of it, because what I'm called to tell you in this message is your resources are restricted. So it ain't just tangible things. You not just out of money, out of a home, out of a mortgage, out of a family, out of anything. Like, you're made to be spiritually, like, you're cursed. There's a curse. God can, like, people know his peaches and cream side, his generous side, being under his umbrella when he's merciful and he's dishing out warnings and forgiveness and pardoning people for their actions. They don't know, and I'm called to say it just like this, they're his Saint Valentine's Day massacre side, his wrath. He has a wrath that cannot be ignored. And it's not going to be, it's hard to ignore that because you earned his anger. Bucking up, raging war against somebody, against the humiliated. This is something that apology can't fix. I heard in some instances, for some people, this is something repentance can barely fix. That's up to God if he's going to forgive you for what you did or not, because you went so hard at being a disbeliever. Now you're exposed for being just that, a disbeliever. Somebody who's promiscuous, somebody who's a sex demon, somebody who has entities attached, somebody who, if you're not a witch yourself, you associate yourself with dark people, dark spirited people, empty spirited people, witches, people who practice dark magic, who associate themselves with jinns. Okay, what else? Knight of Cups. This is somebody who think sweet nothings is going to fix it, or just saying a couple nice words for patronism is going to fix it. Justice. What did I just say about the legalities and things like that? Some of y'all were sued unjustly. Some of you were thrown in jail unjustly. Some of them tried to do everything in their power to strip you of everything so you could sit in jail and rot. Some of you were killed unjustly. Well, you're receiving justice now because God is digging up every skeleton in these people's pocket. That's in everybody's closet who did you wrong. You got on top of the tower, the King of Cups, justice. Eight of Cups. Yeah, they're forced to sit down. They're forced to sit down. There's a lot of victories they got on their belt. They don't have enough resources now. They don't have a full 10. So they were almost there. They were very close. And there's even a star, like behind her. They're forced to walk away from preying on the humiliated. They're forced to walk away from all of petty victories that they had over you. They thought they had over you. Whatever they did to you, they're made to walk away. They're made to stand down now. Stand down, man down, bitch down. And that's on top of the Ace of Swords and the King of Pentacles. You don't have enough. Why? Because what you stole is about to be returned to its rightful sender. For a petty victory. Petty. These cards is little as hell. Okay. Some of these cards fell on the floor. But the one that flipped over is the Eight of Pentacles. You worked your ass off for everything you have. So this is somebody who's very independent, who's diligent, and you're called to continue to focus and build that solid foundation. There's an Eight of Pentacles. 8 out of almost, you're almost at a 10. You worked your ass off, both, to bring your spirituality into a practical lifestyle. Okay? Pleasure, joy, make love to life. You have. And you see the little fireworks in the back? Oh no, that's not fireworks, that's her hair, I'm sorry. You see the house in the back? Like, you, everything you have, you earned it. You don't have to steal from nobody. This was what fell on the floor, is the King of Wands. King of Wands. A whole tyrant, an abuser, an oppressor. Okay? An oppressor. There's 3 kings on this board. It can represent one person, but it has duality with everything. 6 of Swords. Tranquil, peace, moving away from tumultuous drama and energy. Swords are communications. You're here on your public platform to embrace peace. Even in your private life, your whole lifestyle is about peace. Islam promotes peace, not tyranny, not terrorism. Religion, period, is supposed to promote peace when done responsibly. And that's what you did. And that's on top of the Eight of Cups. You walked away from all of this. That's why they thought they had a victory, is because now I hear Gatman and Robin by 50 Cent and Eminem. Eminem's verse starts off as, we're walking away from a beef in which clearly you started. I said, we're walking away from a beef which clearly you started. You. You ought to be thankful that we're not beefing. I'm gonna just leave it at that. So listen to that song. Listen to Eminem's part, because 50 Cent part is, I react like an animal and tear you apart. But that part, I'm not. Both that song, Gatman and Robin, they're teammates, and the chorus of it is, "Mother effer, you retarded, you touch. Shady, I live you dearly departed." And that could be another thing about the Six of Swords and the Eight of Cups. You almost had a victory, but God stepped in and said, "No, I'm about to expose you." And you have major arcanas here. Four, what? The Justice, the Tower, the Sun, and the Temperance. You put all that together, it's like you ought to be ashamed of yourself. The Ace of Wands. And that's on top of the Eight of Pentacles. You have, like, you take that opportunity to be spiritually stronger, to be more business savvy, to be more balanced in what you say you're all about. You keep doing what you're doing. You're allowed to, because you're doing it right. You're doing it well. You're doing yourself, and you're doing it well, and you put God first. Knight of Swords is making a head over heart decision. It's communication. Could represent the what is it? Hastiness, like how fast something can turn around. Because Knight of Swords is fast communication coming in. This could be somebody trying to apologize to you, but it's in the pile with the Justice too. So it's also could represent how fast the farce victories made against you, that how fast they realize they've been played and manipulated. That's very expensive, by the way, for anybody to try to buck up against somebody using any legal system, any of them. And they find out you was the one playing games the whole time. That's foolery. And God is about to expose you, like he's here twice. Angel, the Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. The Knights can represent, I guess, they can also represent, you know, the downloads, because that's mental, that's communication, common sense. You're a fighter. Okay? People perpetrate like they're fighters, but you really do this in real life. You're a fighter. You don't let nobody patronize you. You don't let nobody break your spirit. Like, you're allowed to move away. Five of Wands, conflict. You walked away from conflict and controversy. Who they gonna fight with now? They don't have your attention. Some of you, it could be like when they said the teachers, I'm richer than all my teachers. So this was somebody who tried to shit on you with their resources and then tried to shit on you with your resources. I'm called to tell you, you're richer than your teachers. That's not just an abusive parent or abusive people, abusive boss. Could be a CEO, somebody you work for. Okay, and you have wittiness. You know, they were real sarcastic with you. You know, dry sense of humor, I heard. You got the Lovers, more major arcanas. That's your authenticity. On top of that Ace of Wands, you're true to yourself. You stay true to yourself. High Priestess with the Knight of Swords. The Star. The Star. The High Priestess. The Lovers. Okay? It's not like you didn't understand why you were being attacked. It's just a shame. It's a crying shame that it even had to come to that. But that's life. That's history. Okay? Every great person gets attacked and ridiculed. So just know that about yourself, that you're meant to do big things. You're called to do big things. You're a big speaker. You're a mass communicator. You're meant to be on a public platform. You're meant to help people. You're meant to use all this trauma and abuse that you were served with, like you were nothing, okay? Like you were nothing. You were attacked. Your family was attacked. They tried to split you up from your family. Okay? Like you wasn't shit. Like you wasn't worth the shit on the bottom of their shoe after they stepped in it. Are you serious? Somebody tried to come for your self-esteem. They really thought they broke your spirit because you remained quiet. You didn't make no noise through it all. You actually was in a hermit month. I'm surprised the hermit card is not out here, because that's a real introverted person. Somebody who seeks wisdom. Somebody who goes within because they're emotionally out of control. The emperor is actually the hermit. The hermit is the emperor in reverse. When he's so out of whack, he's forced to retreat. to will it all back in, to restabilize himself before he can go back out there and be on a public platform. Okay? If there were people competing with you, talking shit against you, the wands, the internet, people probably thumbs down your work because you're talking about them without even mentioning them, without even thinking about them. Actually, the brightest star. That star is healing energy too, right along with the temperance. Okay? Excuse me. Is there any final messages? I do apologize. My flow is trying to be interrupted. They don't want me to tell that message. No, God exposed you already. It is what it is. And he called the humiliated to tell the truth and leave off the rest. That's why you have that public platform, is to shame the devil and talk about God. Okay, because what he gives you, can't nobody take it from you. Okay, and what he don't allow nobody to have, they can't take it from you, and you can't give it to them neither. Okay? How are you being called to keep your spirits up? Because it's not an easy process. Like, it's not as simple as saying, yeah, I serve the Lord. All these attacks, I'm getting attacked from left and right, from different levels. Like, you're spiritually aware, so you understand when you're being spiritually attacked. You know when your crown chakra is being attacked. You know when your third eye is attempted to be blocked. You know when they don't want you to say nothing. Okay, you know when somebody's attacking your heart. Your heart could be anything. Your love life, your children, what you love to do the most, the fact that you love God, the fact that you love yourself. All of it. The fact that you love to not be bothered with them, most importantly, and it hurts their feelings. That's what's true about it all. Let's just keep it a bean. It really hurts their feelings that they are not a part of your success. But if anybody knows what to do with a successful endeavor, an earth angel, anybody who's meant to be a star, it would be them. And that's what that Knight of Swords is about. That high priestess, that quick wit. You quick on your feet. And you're a warrior and you stand for what you believe, and you didn't have to say a word about it. I'm a light worker. I don't have to speak about it. I could just do it. I'm the helping hand of God. I'm supposed to practice nothing but common sense because vengeance is his. He's going to handle it, and he's going to handle it well. He's going to handle it in ways that's not even humanely possible. Just like what you did to me was not even humanely possible. That's for somebody. Whatever they did was not even humanely possible, but they did it. Okay? I hate to be the fly on the wall. Shit. For that. How do you keep your spirits calm? How are you called to keep your spirits calm? Build strength. Keep that third eye strong. When you move your body, you shift your energy. When you beef up on your prayers, you stay in your prayers. It's more than just praying, y'all. You can be fasting. You can do things in the community. Whatever you can do. Don't worry about what you don't have, because you were met with a lot of restrictions for a while. Don't worry about what you don't have. Worry about what can I do. You can show kindness. You can even smile. That's a form of charity for somebody. You don't know what that smile is going to do for somebody. I can talk somebody off the cliff. Meditation. That's right, because it balances out your chakras. You know, it clears out that toxic energy. Like, for a person who's religious, what does it mean to meditate? Say your duas. 6 could be significant. 35 could be significant. 8. Your family. Pray for your family. Try to stay close to your family. If you have family, your family, that's a wide interpretation as well. You can be in a city or a place or a town where you're not very close to your immediate family, but you have a support group. Okay? Friends, your job, church, however way it resonates with you. You have a support system. Whatever your family is, your family could be you reading the illustrations off of a deck of cards for your psychotherapy. That could be your family, and that's not sad or pathetic because you're mentally strong like that. One more. Your beauty rituals. Well, it does say you're making love to life, you're experiencing that pleasure and that joy. Do your hair, do your makeup, wear all your nicer clothes. Throw away the ones you don't think is all that fancy. I'm called to tell you to do that. If you think, oh, I'm just wearing this because it's a regular day, stop that mentality. Throw away anything that would ever inspire you to say, oh, it's just a regular day, because nothing is regular about your life moving forward. Nothing is regular about nothing. Everything is a beauty ritual. Everything. From what you wear, to what you clean your skin with, to what you clean your house with, to what you recite over yourself. And I'm called to remind you that foundation you built is strong. That relationship with God you built, strong. Okay? I love what you did with yourself. That's from the Most High. And remember the ayat I said, Surah number 3, ayat 28. Okay? Read that ayat. It's about whoever turns away from him and his laws and commands, his means of subsistence will be restricted. So just know that you're going to get it back. Okay? And they're not going to get that far. That's why they're forced to walk away. They're forced to stand down. I don't know what in the ancestors and the Most High first and his angels and everybody he sent to these people scared the shit out of them. I'll tell you that with the Sun and the Temperance card. Oh, you want to call on those entities? You can meet Iblis himself, not his soldiers. I made that. You understand? Just like I created you. In the most beautiful form, I created Adam. And I made everybody prostrate to him. Even Iblis. And he didn't want to do it. That's the devil's name. He didn't want to do it. That's how he got kicked out of heaven. But guess what? I created that too. And you're clearly not no match for that, because you have poor discernment. You have poor common sense. You hear not, you see not. Trying to run after him. Trying to keep up with him. Trying to buck up against me. You see what happened to him after he bucked up against me. Have you no common sense? What he say? And what Trip he say in his chorus in his song? What's the second part of his chorus? Something about what cut your throat. Oh, you send your gang against us, we'll cut your throat. Something to that effect, but please listen to the song. That's God telling you. Oh, you want a gang war against me and mine? We'll restrict you. And see how hot you are now. And tell you to go produce your surahs if you're truthful. You can't use me against me. You can never weaponize me against me. That speaks about me first, because I'm above my throne. That speaks of everything and everybody that prostrates to me, even though I'm not in need of anything I created. But that speaks to everything that prostrates to me. Okay? I'll cut your throat. Spiritually and tangibly. I took her from you, didn't I? And you've been angry with me ever since. Keep it real. That's for somebody. And if you ever try to intimidate or block, or you try to block her love life, you try to send devils her way, how you going to send a devil her way when I got her kingdom spouse? Right here. Yes, that's your soulmate. Yes, him. Yes, her. What's on the bottom? Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to each other or to others. And that's that energy. That person, the humiliated. That's the energy of the humiliated. Yes, that was your soulmate. Since you're asking. Not for nothing. Now that you lost. Yeah, that was your soulmate. You asked, you received. Now that's somebody else's soulmate. And I dare you to defame her character again and call her a whore or loose or a witch or anything. She prostrates to me. That don't make her no witch. And that could be a man or a woman. Because men and women, that example I gave earlier in the conversation was the wife of Abu Lahab and what she did to Hamza, the uncle, the prophet's uncle Hamza, alayhi salam. Okay? So women are just as treacherous. They're probably more treacherous than men. That's why if you look on the tower card, it's always two people. There's always somebody. You can never stand 10 toes by yourself. You always have to have somebody. This person is a coward. And this person never did care for you much. When he saw your aura, when he saw your light, whoever I'm talking to, all of who I'm talking to, he was ready to cut your throat. That's how offended this person was. And don't get hung up on the he and the she. A man could be in feminine energy just like a woman is in her masculine energy. We did have 3 kings on the board. So I read the energy duality is the thing with those cards. Okay? Could have been 3 men bucking up against one person, one woman. It could have been previous spouses that could have bucked up against that person. That could have been that woman's spiritual lessons. That's what inspired that woman to get stronger, to start building more strength, to stay grounded, to appreciate all of what she has. It teaches her that, okay, if my karma is to have tyranny spouses or player, promiscuous, materialistic, this person been through it all. Been through a lot. I ain't gonna say it all. I would say a lot. But you do have a soulmate. Yes, you were their soulmate. Every last one of them. Yes, they know that. They couldn't perpetrate with you. You came with something different. Your spirit too strong. Even when you thought you was at a weaker space. Even though you're much stronger now, they saw that in you then. Why do you think they were acting so intimidated by you? And it's not a victim thing. You shouldn't feel victimized. These are your lessons. You were meant to learn it. So you might have had to learn it a couple times before you got it right. But yeah, listen to that song. It's a really good song. Even if you just understand it from a surface level. Big 14, Trippie Redd, Moneybagg Yo, and Offset. Great artist. I don't have rights to that song. Yeah, they were your spouses. Or was your spouse. But you do have a kingdom spouse. Man or woman, whoever you are. It's coming. It's here. And when you meet him or her, extend your lighthearted energy. Keep your energy light and feathery. Flirt, playful energy, that young energy. Smile, laugh a lot. Be the pleasure and the joy. Make love to life. See who you attract next. So, and you're able, the space now where you're mature enough, you have a lot of heart-to-heart conversations with people. Now you can speak your mind. You don't even wear a mask in no relationship. Not with yourself, not with your kids, not with your parents, not with your friends, not with anybody you come in contact with. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. And when you keep it rigorously honest, what'd that say? Release your ex. Forgive him. The time has come to clear your energy. I told you God is exposing them. He's telling your truth for you. Where they tried to lie. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Yeah, you're not meant to do nothing with them. You're not even meant to co-parent with them. They're not going to be around that much longer. This is the romance of a lifetime. And yeah, you was a romance of a lifetime. You was. But it's your turn to be a romance, to be a true love, to have a true love. Look how enamored they are with each other. Past life relationship. You've known each other before. These are karmic soulmates, and you cleared up a lot of your karma to be able to move forward, to be able to have the wedding of your dreams is what I hear. Your spouse is going to be of a different culture from you, but your spirit is alike, is like no other. Okay? But you have to learn to love yourself first. You had to. Okay, honey. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Do you see that? That's a sign. That's how they crying right now, because they don't have no more resources to buck up against you. But let me tell you something. Come here, baby. Come here. Don't cry. They left you crying like that. They wanted you to sit in the corner and cry like that. Now they're crying like that. But for different reasons. They don't have enough. Now they're forced to face their true issues. They're forced to face all them demons they called on. And they're forced to deal with their feelings for what they truly are. And they knew you was a true love. They knew you was sent from God. And I have the engagement card next. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Yeah, because you love yourself first. So that's the first relationship is with you and God than with yourself. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. But it's not just romantic. The way you love on yourself makes everybody love you better. It commands respect without you having to say it. It goes without having to be explained. And with the wedding card being here and the soulmate card, that's how enamored and connected you are with your inner star player now and your spirit. Your spirit animal is you. You know how some people say they connect with animals? And that's fine if you do. Like, I love lions, personally. But when you connect with spirit animals, your spirit animal is you. Let's see, that's what comes out of that friendship with God. Like, you're beautiful. You're just beautiful, inside out. Your aura. They thought you was a threat before. Like, you're beautiful now. And motherhood does you right too. And don't think ill that you've been married before. Could have been in long-term commitments before, and they just blew up in your face. They left you to cry, and now they're crying because they're terrified. But they're being terrorized the way they terrorize you. This person cries a lot. They cry every day. Whether they have to cry themselves to sleep, because they didn't cater to that inner child. You hear my baby talking? That's their inner child screaming. That inner child was screaming. They just wanted love. Now they humbled enough to say that now. I just wanted love. I didn't know it would get like this. Yeah, but they got to work that out with your master now. They can't even talk to you. Like, I see Sex in the City. The girls, you know how well put together the girls are? Carrie Bradshaw, she has to be the most eccentric. They all eccentric in their own way. She has to be the most eccentric one out of all of them. Like, she's the biggest risk taker out of all of them. But they all take risks. They all put themselves first in their own unique way. Like, anybody who's truly here for you, who really love you like that, they would never ever try to change you or make you be something you never was. You know, to dim your light. Nobody would ever do that to you. Your real friends would never do that to you. If God doesn't dim your light, what do you need to tolerate that from people for? And that's what you've come to learn. The difference between unconditional love and that farce love, that conditional love. But my battery is about to die. I can keep on talking. You're working on yourself. You're a professional person, man or a woman. You're at a point now where you're getting ready to start working from home forever. It's never going to be a thing where you have to put up with particular styles of work for survival. Like, you passed that point.
Mom.
Okay?
Mom.
Shh.
Hi.
I'm proud of you. I was told to deliver this message. I'm glad I said what I had to say. I love the song Big 14, y'all. Please, I'm not getting paid for anything to promote that song, but it came with a lot of messages for me came out of those lyrics. So listen to the song, download it, do what you have to do, but it's real tranquil for those who are the amongst the party of humiliated, amongst the people who are successful, who earned their living and their success the right way. They built it up on a solid foundation, so it can't falter. It can't be taken from them because it comes from the Most High. Don't worry about who's crying about what they didn't do right by you, though they definitely crying. Definitely crying. Okay? Even if you don't see a lot of your success in the tangible sense, you're about to. It's here. You're just living through the physical aspect of it. It's already there in the spiritual realm. You just have to focus on that. Don't focus on who is bucking up against you. That's why I said that early in the beginning. You're being called to keep your focus on positive claims and intentions, on your goals and desires, and know that God is working with you and He's making your dreams come true. For those of you who have children who passed over, your children may have come to speak to you. They may come in a dream. That was the sign of all of that. Was the point of this message. That was God telling you to get back in tune with your focus on your positivity and your inner star player. You are your inner star player. Okay? You. Don't worry about what you lost. Look at what you gained out of all these traumatic experiences. And you're doing yourself and you're doing it well. Okay? Thank God.